Hi folks, this is all the fruit. I'm in the valley of Mogan, on the beautiful island in Gran Canaria, and I want to show you what happens, well, I wouldn't call it an orchard in that case. The trees I want to show you are more ornamental trees, but what happens basically in those areas when you stop irrigation. Here there is a bunch of really impressive pink peppercorn trees, Schinus molle. This one is like about 1.70 m, 1.80 m thick. Well, here this is a croc size 46. No idea what it is in American size. What does it say? No idea. It's the biggest size they produce, and it's still being dwarfed by the giant stem of this Schinus tree. Schinus is not native to the Canary Islands. It's native to South America, and it's used here as an ornamental. Like here there is some old, some old farm, which they tried to modernize a couple decades ago, as it seems, but it didn't work out. And so they stopped irrigation, and around this farm, this old farm building is basically surrounded by the dying remains of giant peppercorn trees. This one, slightly thinner, but still about 1.60 m thick. This one, considerably smaller. And over there, two other pretty giant ones, and they're all dying. Why are they dying? Well, here you can see quite some lush orchards there. There are avocado trees, oranges, sugarcane, and even bananas. Bananas need a lot of water. And right next to them, basically a desert. Look at that. Almost nothing is growing there. Even the cacti are dying from the drought, and then those big ancient peppercorn trees here. A lot of dying. Those must have been avocado trees, and back there a palm tree. Even the palm tree is dying from the drought. Why? And if you see the giant reed in the background, there is not a single green giant reed there. How come? Where does this green orchard come from in this pretty much desert-like valley? And why are the areas outside this orchard so dry even in this valley? Well, basically this part here is quite an exception. This is the valley of Mogan, famous for the cultivation of subtropical and exotic fruit, especially mango, and basically it's an 8-9 kilometer long oasis of orchards in this desert-like valley. Why are the mangoes being cultivated here and all the other fruit? Well, it's a very sunny place, so the fruit will be much sweeter than what you could grow in the wet areas of the north. And also those high mountains there usually provide enough water for irrigation of those fields. But as you can see up there, almost everything has been given up by the farmers. Those must have been cornfields 100 years ago, then tomato fields 20 or 30 years ago. Now they are abandoned because people concentrated on cultivating stuff on the valley bottom, especially exotic fruit trees. And in the last years we had a lot of drought. And this happens, this is the difference between a lush irrigated orchard. Right now, even in those places the farmers are saving water. This orchard could be even more lush. And if there was some sun, it would even look more lush. And here an abandoned orchard. Now let's go back to the peppercorn trees. As you see, the old ones, they are dying. But I guess those are all suckers. 1 sucker, 2 suckers, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here this tree got a lot more suckers. So the ancient beautiful pink peppercorn trees are dying. I don't know how old those are, but with that size they are sure well over 100 years old. Maybe even much older. I don't want to guess. I don't know the growth rate of peppercorn trees. The old ones are dying, which, yeah, I'm a little bit sad about it, but since they are not native, I'll have to accept it. I still don't know what's gonna do with what's gonna happen with those suckers. If they're gonna invade the area which was abandoned, if they are gonna be successful, I really have no idea. Well, since we have fruit channel, I mean, I'm trying to show you a lot of issues related with agriculture and environment, but since we have fruit channel, let's try those pink peppercorns. That's what the leaves of Schinus molle look like, and the flowers. And those are the pink peppercorns. Of course, the inflorescence would look much better in a well-watered tree, in some, either in some more moist area or in some better irrigated area. Yeah, why is this called peppercorns? Well, they look like corns. It's not related to any, it's not closely related to any of the other plants, plant types used as pepper. It's not in the Piperaceae, where the black and green and white pepper come from. It's not like the Chinese Szechuan pepper. It's which is the genus Santoxylum. It's and which is in the Rutaceae. It's not related to the red chili pepper, which is in the Solanaceae. Nope, this is in the Anacardiaceae. This is actually a relative of the mango, which is being grown there in the background among the avocado trees. If we look at the little peppercorns, well, okay, they don't look so much like mangoes. Yeah, they look like small oblong fruit, roughly the shape and even the color of a mango, but a lot of fruit are like this. Let me try it. So I bit off the skin from this one. When the fruit is half dried up, the skin is like 1 or 2 millimeters above the flesh, so it's quite easy to bite it off and show you the flesh. Flesh basically looks like a prune or a resin. And you don't need this papery skin. Yep. Here is the flesh, here is the inside. It's being sold usually as peppercorns with this papery skin, which is usually a lot brighter. This is like a more typical color for it. It's sold with the skin because the skin is pretty bright and because it's not so easy to properly remove it from large amounts of them. Well, since we removed the skin, let's inhale just peppercorn and just suck at it a little bit. It's sweet. I wouldn't say that it has a particular mango-ish flavor, but it's like some dried small fruit. Why is it called peppercorn? It's not hot or anything. Well, and now let's slightly chew on the seed. There is a nice peppery flavor. I still have a peppery flavor from the monk's pepper I tried, from the Vitex Agnus Castus I tried about 5 minutes ago. So now I have to be careful which part of the pepperness comes from this and which comes from that plant. Well, there is a hotness in the seed. There is also a peppery flavor, if you understand what I mean, if you separate the hotness of pepper from the flavor of pepper. And there's also a slight bitterness. Well, I guess the slight bitterness and the sticky flesh are the two reasons that this is not cultivated on a large scale for use as a spice. Because of the sweet flesh, I guess it will basically clog a pepper mill. It's being used as a mixture with the green, white and black pepper. Why? Well, first because the flesh would clog up a pepper mill, and second because green, white and black is a little bit more boring than green, white, black and pink together. So you can buy these bottles where all those peppercorns are mixed up, and since the pink peppercorns make up less than 20% of the whole mixture, it seems that sweet flesh is not enough to clog up the pepper mill, but they can be ground up with the other peppercorns, and this is also the reason that the slight bitterness of the pink peppercorns is not so dominant in the pepper taste. I like to collect a couple bunches of those whenever I'm on holidays in the Mediterranean or in the Canary Islands. Usually they look much better and even a much brighter color than this, and much bigger, with hundreds and hundreds of little fruit, and bring them as souvenirs to my friends because it looks nice. You can use it for cooking, and yeah, I collected it myself, and it's something really unusual as a souvenir. So folks, those were some, well, dying or maybe not quite dying pink peppercorn trees, giant old pink peppercorn trees on the beautiful island of Gran Canaria. Thank you for your patience for this slightly long and confusing video. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful island of Gran Canaria. And don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.